Hey guys, welcome back to Roto Innovations, where today we're going to be learning how to install an outdoor light. Here we go.
If you have vinyl soffit, you'll start by removing the finishing nails that hold in your fascia, so you'll be able to remove pieces of soffit. You can find where two pieces of vinyl meet, squeeze them towards each other, and use something like a flathead or paint scraper to release the lip. Each piece of vinyl should be attached with a couple of staples so you can remove them using pliers or a flathead screwdriver. This project is a little abnormal because the original soffit was wood and vinyl was added over the top of it. I wanted to remove the soffit so I could look inside and make sure there wasn't a rafter or a 2x4 directly above where I'd be mounting the light. You could also do this from within the attic if you have easy access. All right, just so you can see where we're trying to go, here we have at the corner where we're going to be putting our light, and we're going to run the electrical this way, and you'll see why. So it's pretty tight up here. This is the rafter coming down from the roof, and we're gonna feed the electrical through that hole to the corner, and then we'll access the attic here and then feed it into where we're gonna be bringing our power in. To get a glimpse of the space where I'd be mounting the light, I used my flashlight to look through the opening where I was going to run the electrical. You can see there's a 2x4 close to the corner, as well as the rafter above the corner.
All right, so we have a rafter coming in here on this part of the roof, and then we have another 2x4 extending out this way. So our box needs to be somewhere in here, and you want it to be as far back as possible, because if it's too far out, then your light bulbs and your fixture is going to be getting wet in the rain. So you want it to be tucked underneath the eave, that way it's not getting wet.
I traced my box and started a pilot hole for my jigsaw using a paddle bit.
Cool trick that I learned is you can take a shirt and you can put it over your head like this, take the sleeves and tie them around your head, and then you can put your glasses on, so you'll have this little bitty space here, and it'll stop you from getting debris all on your head and in your eyes. All right, our junction box fits in here now. We'll go ahead and run the electrical. All right, we have our electrical pulled out, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these poles together, these rods together, and I'm gonna feed it up into the attic through here, and then we'll go up in the attic and pull the line and connect it to power.
All right, so we have our electrical, and I had to do what I like to call the crawl of shame down there. And now we have a much more wide open part of our attic that will pull this to where we're going to be putting our switch. When pulling electrical through the attic, I always try to route it underneath everything so it's as clutter-free as possible, looks like it's always been there, and doesn't impact any future projects.
All right, so here's where we're going to be putting our light switch box. You're going to measure about 48 inches to the bottom of the light switch. And then if you've ever used one of these remodel boxes before, as you tighten that screw, it's going to pull that tab, and it'll be between the tab on the front of the box and the sheetrock.
You can go ahead and trace your box and then remove the drywall with a razor blade or drywall saw. There's the hole after I cut it out. Back in the attic, I used a 5/8 inch paddle bit to drill through the top plate of the wall where we'll be feeding our new electrical down to our switch.
Here it looks like the wire was fed down a little too far, but that's okay. You just pull it up, cut off what you don't need, or you can just strip off the end. Now we're feeding down new wire that's going to be connected to our power. So now we're giving power to the box or the switch, and we're pulling it through. So what I do is you can see, put a piece of tape on there just so I can mark and remember as I pull the slack out of the line back up in the attic, to remember which one was the hot wire the power wire, and which one is the one going to the switch to turn it on, turn the light fixture on. With the switch in the off position, you'll see off up at the top. That hot will go right there. So where we marked it with the blue tape, we'll put that onto that screw, and I'll put the other hot on the bottom screw, twist the neutrals together once I'm finished with that, and then I'll twist the grounds together and leave enough excess, that way I can connect it to the ground on the bottom of the switch. And once you have the switch all wired up, you can go ahead and screw that into the box. Once you have the switch wired up, then you can connect the light fixture. Alright, so we pulled all of our slack through. Now what we'll do is we'll cut this, slip our box in, put the vinyl back, and we'll have to cut a hole out where the vinyl is for the box, and then we'll install our light, and then we'll hook it up.
To cut a hole in the vinyl soffit for the box, you can use a jigsaw, razor blade, or some snips. I used a jigsaw to remove part of the material on the ground and then installed it, letting the blade run along the hole I previously cut out of the wood. After the box could fit in, I fed the wire through and installed it in the cavity. This box installs just like the box for the switch shown earlier. After the box was installed, I stripped the wire and twisted together the hots, neutrals, and attached the ground. Alright, so we have our fixture, and in case you missed it, for the time lapse, I have the hot connected to the hot, the white to the white, which is the neutral, and then the ground screwed off. Now we'll go ahead and attach our fixture to the box. Feed any excess wire into the box, making sure nothing is getting pinched when screwing in the fixture. After the fixture is installed, you can finish reattaching the soffit in fascia. You will need a stapler to reattach the soffit unless you want to use something different. Now that we have the switch and the fixture wired, we can tie into some power and test our light. This is our new wire that we're going to connect to a power supply, and we'll connect it right here to a box that I have that's only for one outlet. Whoever ran the power for this house only ran it to one outlet, so I know that it's not going to be overloaded here. So we'll go ahead and fish this wire through, tighten it up to where it's not going to pull out, and then we'll go ahead and wire up the neutrals, the hot, and the ground, and then put the plate back on. Alright, we got everything wired up. Let's test them out. Alright guys, it's working like a charm. I hope this was helpful for y'all. If y'all have any questions, comment below. If you like it, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace and God bless.